Hello, I'm Phil Svitek, 360 Creative Coach, and the reason I call myself that is because I believe in a two-pronged approach to success, in the sense that, yes, talent and skill, but also mental fortitude. Without both working together, you won't be able to achieve the artistic ambitions you have. As part of my aim to really help you and teach you and all these things, I like to do my vlog where I share my journey in hopes that is both inspirational but also gives you tactics to try out in your own life. So welcome to my vlog. This is where I share my creative journey. Before I get into it though, I do want to take the opportunity to invite you to subscribe if you aren't already. That way you get all the various lessons that I put out right when I put them out. Thank you if you just did. And also, thank you if you already were. It means a lot to me. So first off, a lot of what I probably would have said and shared in terms of like what's going on in my life, I did with kind of a bonus episode on Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Yes. This past weekend. So I'm going to link to that so you can kind of check that out. Because that was, you know, when I heard about her passing, that was the thing that was top of mind, and it dominated me for the entire weekend and all that. So, you know, I'm not going to recap that. Like I said, you can check that out for yourself, link below. The other, you know, that's obviously heavy news and something to contemplate, but I want to focus on the more joyous stuff in this vlog, and that's that I finished up a draft of my script. And so, yay, I'm done, right? Now, the good news is, now that it's complete, I am going through and doing a first preliminary pass. So, I'm not calling this the first draft. That was just kind of a rough draft to get me to the first draft. So, what I like to do is I have two screens. One is a blank document, one is the script. And, you know, then also just various notes on a piece of paper of things to address. And so by forcing myself to literally rewrite the script, I'm putting myself back into those characters, and things are, you know, in so doing, I'm having to really think and kind of get back into the mindset of where things were. Now, obviously, I'm not creating from scratch because I have that second monitor that I can always turn to and see. But in so doing, I'm already able to shorten a lot of things. Like there's a lot of superfluous dialogue that I had, and I'm able to heighten emotion, and I'm able to really take specific moments and you know, add a little something that wasn't there before, because now I have a better idea of where things are headed, right? It's not that it's complete with the rough draft that I did, but it's certainly a more fuller version. So in this rewrite to get to the first draft, it's been very eye-opening, and it's been a lot of fun, right? It certainly moves a lot quicker than having to write from a completely blank page, and I'm able to really elevate the script. So it's been a lot of fun so far. I'm about 21 pages into the rough draft, but only 17 pages of the new draft. So already there, you can see I've shaved off four pages, which accounts for about 4 minutes, which isn't necessarily my goal, right? I'm not trying to shave anything. I'm just trying to make things tighter and flow a little better. And so in that sense, you know, especially at the beginning, I want to have this gripping sense for the audience of like, okay, well, what's coming down the pipeline? What's more? In the same way, like, let's say one of the greatest examples to me is The Matrix, because like it presents such a cool visual, and it raises so many questions. So then, you know, whatever's going to come later, you're like, okay, I'm in it because I want to find out, and you trust that the movie's going to give you the answers. And luckily, you know, The Matrix does, and that's why it's such a wonderful movie. And so I'm kind of trying to present those various things of this intrigue. Now, mine's more dialogue based than action-based, but I'm trying to have action in there and also accommodate for movement and, have actors kind of move about, so it's not just people sitting in one place and just talking. I want there to be various things that are happening, people coming in, right? And overall, one of the things that I thought about with this script, and the reason why I'm writing it, is because I look at, let's say, superhero movies, or even like something in the vein of James Bond and other spy such movies. You can count like Tom Cruise and Mission Impossible in this, just to give you a few examples. And they're all very action based, and it's a lot of fun. But I like the premises that they raise, right? The villain versus the good guy. And what I'm interested in is the ideology of both, and exploring that, because more and more as I go through life, I think there's our truths, but like the absolute truth is a little bit harder to chip away at. Or maybe absolute truth isn't the right term. Maybe it's more of what the right decision, what the ethically correct answer is. Because you can make pros and cons for both things. And so that's what I'm interested in, the nuances of life, the gray areas of life, and really bringing that to the forefront. And so that's what my script, In Search of Sunrise, really aims to do. So it takes, tries to take the things that, you do see in superhero movies in terms of the ideology, but instead of exemplifying it through action, kind of really going a little slower with it and really looking at it in a more, and not that it's like a legal procedural type of way, but in a kind of more examined fashion. My inspiration for this, not that this reveals any of the plot, is the British TV series called The Prisoner. It's a 1960s show where there's a spy who resigns all of a sudden suddenly, and so he gets kidnapped to this unknown island, and they want to know why he resigned, and he will not tell them why. As he says, his business is his own. And so it's only 17 episodes, so you can kind of watch, you can pretty much binge it over the course of a weekend if you really wanted to, or take your time with it. It is a little bit heady, but it's a lot of, it's almost like an oxymoron. It's heady, but it's fun. But it is. I think it asks, for me it is at least, it asks a lot of cool questions that I really appreciate, and, I'm trying to explore my own questions. Not, mine are different than that, but, so in this rewrite, it's been fun getting to do that, because now I have a more completed version that I can draw from and amend, right? I talk about this a lot. It's easier to revise something than it is to create from scratch. That's why, like, if you have writer's block, if you're stuck, just literally get out ideas onto the paper, because your mind's naturally going to critique. We're all critics in our own way, but it's a lot harder to come at it from a place of creation. So if you can just put stuff down on the paper, then you can let your critiquing mind go to work and make it better. So that's what I've been doing. Now, not much else has been really going on. I mean, stuff has been going on in life in general. A lot of stuff I've been doing, continuing to phone bank and things that I can do. A great resource in terms of the elections that I would recommend to you is ballotready.org. And it's a way to see how to register if you aren't. It's a way to see where you can go to vote if you want to do it in person, or if not, then how you can make sure to get your mail-in ballot and what you need to do in terms of hitting those deadlines and so forth. And also, most importantly, what's even on the ballot for you, right? Depending on where you live, you just type in the area code and they give you the stuff that'll be on your ballot, and you can really study it. So it'll show you the candidates or the laws that you're getting to vote on, and it'll show you, what it means, and in terms of the candidates, what they're proposing. So, I highly recommend that to you. I took it, so like now I have my printed out ballot, so that way, when I vote, I will have that ready. I don't have to think about it. I've already given it the time that I need to. So boom, I'm done, right? So that's ballotready.org. Other than that, with everything kind of going on, I've been trying to find pockets of relaxation, just kind of, because I'm not going to be good to anyone else if I'm not good to myself. And so just trying to do that as much as possible, spend time with my dogs, things like that. This almost counters that, but I've been reading V for Vendetta, the comic book. And I say that's ironic because that's a very politically charged series. Now I've seen the movie, but I've not read the comic, and I don't read a lot of comics. I try to. I don't know why I don't. It just, I guess in some sense, some of them feel like very overwhelming. Of there's such a rich history that to get into the middle of one, it's like where do I start? With what issue and so forth. So I do like the kind of standalone pieces. I'm blanking on the word, but certainly like V for Vendetta, the book that I got, it tells the story from start to finish. So in that sense, it's complete. I don't know, for some reason, I don't know, I just couldn't, right now, I'm in this headspace, I couldn't pick up comics, issue by issue to complete a story. Not that that's not great, but it's just a habit that I would really have to force myself into, and right now I guess I'm not ready. So I've been doing that. Also, I'm reading Pacific Vortex, which is what was intended as the first novel in the Dirk Pitt series by Clive Cussler. I've read various Dirk Pitt novels in the past. It's almost like a James Bond, Indiana Jones type of character, but he's very much it's underwater based, right? So it's, instead of being an archaeologist, he's, diving into deep oceans and so forth, right? And they're easy breezy. They're kind of like a grocery store type of book, but right now it's just fun to really read and just not have to work my mind that much, because I'm working my mind in so many other places. And the other thing, that I've kind of mentioned in the past, but I never really followed up on, is this idea of meal prep. I've been doing more meal prep, and it kind of makes it. What I do is I assess the various stuff that I have in my kitchen, and so I write it down on a list, and kind of based off that for the whole week, I'm like, okay, well, what are the items that I can make? And if I'm missing anything, then I put it on the list to shop. And it makes it easy because I feel like a lot less goes to waste. And, I think we all have this, or at least I find me and my friends have this inherent problem of oh, there's never anything in the fridge. But by doing this and really assessing what I have in my fridge, I realize that I have a lot more, and that I can make a lot of incredible food with it. And so, that's what I do. And during the week, I don't have to think about what am I going to eat? It's already on the list, and I just go ahead and make it. So it speeds it up. I use, less brain power in that sense. I'll, of course, I'm coming and batching it, right? So by sitting down and really, figuring it out, I don't have to make those tiny decisions throughout the week. So it's been fun. That's what I kind of really have for you. I mean, there's not a lot else. As I said, all the other thoughts that I would have probably said in this vlog, I've already said in relation to RBG's passing. So check out that video if you're interested in that. But yeah, thank you. I hope, I don't know if this is the most inspirational episode or the one that gives you the most tactics, but I hope in some sense there is some takeaway. As always, you can ask me any questions you want. It doesn't have to be just about the stuff that I talked about. And I'd be glad to converse with you and answer those questions. So thank you for taking the time to tune in. I truly appreciate you, and I hope to see you next time.